The overconsumption of alcohol can be problematic for not only the people over drinking, but also everyone else around them.
Next, you're going to hear from my dad, Travis Wolf, who grew up with parents that were alcoholics and what he went through.
My mom was a daily drinker, pretty much all the time, and then my father drank on the weekends.
Were your parents together in the same household or separated?
They were divorced.
Which parent did you live with?
I lived with my mother.
We'll come back to your dad in a little bit, and we're going to focus on your mom for most of the interview. What did a typical day look like in your household?
I mean, their days were all over the board. With somebody that drinks all the time, moods can shift greatly. So depending on if we're to start in the morning, depending on the night before, I most likely would have to get up and get myself ready for school because usually my mom wouldn't get out of bed till the middle of the afternoon. So pretty much from as early as I can remember, getting up and getting ready to get on the school bus was a responsibility of mine. Then I would go to school, obviously, during the school year. And then if I came home, generally there was like one of three options. Either she wasn't home because she had went to the bar and I wouldn't know, she might leave a note or something. If she was home, it was more than likely that she was going to be drinking, and then I would either experience like kind of like a happy version of her drunk, where she would be all fun like my friend, or she would be in a bad mood drunk, and then I would just avoid her. So I would say that that's most days. Probably the biggest thing is fear of not knowing what you were going to encounter on a day, because it changed so much. Like I said, sometimes I was just left alone. Other times she would be there, but I wouldn't know how she would act. So I think that, like, depending on a normal week, I could go through all of the emotions: fear, scared, happy. As a kid, it was very confusing because I was probably a teenager before I kind of understood what was going on. So kind of those emotions all changed throughout my life.
A survey made by the NIAAA says that around 52% of parents drink around their children at home, and 47% have been drunk around their children. Mosel says that drinking around your children exposes them to chaos, physical and emotional neglect, arguments, and disorganization. Exposing these kids to things like this can lead to problems later down the road. These problems include anxiety, depression, relationship issues, antisocial behavior, and even marital problems. Oftentimes, when parents drink at home, it leads to children having to parent themselves and take care of more than they normally would have to at their age. Are you still bartending?
No, I am not still bartending.
Okay, so how long did you bartend?
I bartended for, I think, 2 years. Yeah, 2 years. I bartended at a wedding event that you said, do you know, the cannery? The cannery. Yeah. So it was a lot of weddings, so a lot of people were at least 22 getting married. So there was a lot of 25 to probably 25 to 30, and then up to like 50, 55. Not a lot of, elderly people were drinking. A lot of grandparents come to weddings and stuff, but yeah, mostly just like parents drank, and then if there was like a couple that was over 25 usually, yeah.
And then, so obviously there's probably lots of partying since it's for weddings.
Yes, lots of partying.
And then did you ever have to deal with like trying to kick people out because they overdrank?
yes, we had a couple of those. And like at a wedding, you know, we're supposed to try to be a little classier. And there were some times where people would come up to the bar and they would be slurring their words, they'd be throwing themselves on it, being like, I need another, you know, and we're like, nope, no more, we cut you off, you know. And usually what we did then was we would just go over and be like, okay, I'll pour you another, and we'd just give them water, you know, and they had no idea. And then we'd send them on their way.
So one solution to reducing the amount of alcoholics in this country would be to change the prices and advertise less. So a way to limit the promotions would be to add warning labels, product content labeling, and counter messaging to increase awareness of alcohol's harms. If people knew more about the effects of alcohol, they may choose not to overdrink or even drink at all. Teaching kids more about the effects of alcohol rather than just prevention would help them understand why they shouldn't drink. And since the schools only teach prevention, they don't understand why they shouldn't drink. They just are being told that they shouldn't. So according to the CDC, each year around 178,000 people that overconsume alcohol die in the United States. Short-term effects of alcohol include injuries, violence, alcohol poisoning, overdose, and even unplanned pregnancies or sexually transmitted diseases. Long-term effects of alcohol include cancer, high blood pressure, heart disease, liver disease, stroke, alcohol use disorder, and a weaker immune system. Alcohol does not only have physical long-term effects, but also long-term social effects. These include mental health conditions, learning problems, memory problems, and relationship problems. People should be taught that overconsumption of alcohol does not only affect them, but also can emotionally affect their peers.
I just feel like I feel like there's so many problems altogether. Like people just like be on their phones too much, and then you know going out and they don't have like the social skills. I don't think, and so a lot of people will drink so that they, you know, they let their guard down a little, and they feel more comfortable in social situations. And so I think that like phones and not having those interpersonal skills is kind of like a catalyst in people wanting to drink more.
In the interview with Harrison, she talks about how people overusing their phones could lead to people having problems during social events. Play USA takes a survey that says 3 out of 4 people think that their social skills have decreased due to overusage of their phones. Due to an overuse of their phones, people are lacking in social skills, causing them to drink in social events to help counter that.